Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and wow, we have got a video today. We've got a lot to cover. We've got new champions. We've got an episode I've waited 4 years for. We've got the Bad Alcazar episode coming out. Bad Alcazar is my channel art here on the channel. Has been my favorite champion since the day I downloaded Raid. And look at this. We've got Plarium loving Americans. I actually get to be playing during afternoon, lunchtime, and actually have a tournament ending right now. Tournaments always end for me at like 4 or 5 a.m. And we got a tournament ending at 12:30 or 1 p.m. here in the Ice Golem. I've never seen that happen before. So we're finally getting some different end times here of tournaments where I might not miss as many fusions because something ends at 5 in the morning. So that's super exciting as well. But we're going to get you caught up on everything happening today in Raid Shadow Legends with the new champions and the events being announced and everything going on. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, we had the Call of the Arbiter episode for Bad Alcazar, and there's a couple things that you can get in-game from this. I'm not going to talk about the episode and spoil it for you yet in case you didn't see it, but what you can do here is you can click on Share Episode, and then just click on Copy, and you don't have to actually do anything else. It will go ahead and grant you the rewards just by doing that. I know Plarium probably hates me for sharing that with you, but it's a super easy way for you to get 10 brews and 100 energy. And then for the code chase here for episode 9, the Bad Alcazar episode, the code you're going to want to put in is server maintenance, like that, to get your recent. No, I'm joking. That was a joke I saw on Reddit. The most upvoted comment on Reddit for what the code was server maintenance. I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, the code is actually ambition. So AMBITION. Ambition is going to give you your rewards right here. Get a couple brews, a little bit of silver. Then under the news tab, you may see that there's going to be a 2x for Sacreds this weekend, and then that will double dip a little bit with the champion chase around the Newt fusion. And there is also a new champion that is up for grabs via a 10x during that 2x, and that is going to be Lady of Ireth, a new legendary for the Sylvan Watchers. So let's go ahead and get a first reaction to Lady of Ireth being added to the game here. So base stats look promising. We don't have any accuracy, so hopefully she doesn't need accuracy within her kit. Hopefully she's just a support that places buffs and stuff like that. Good base speed, decent defense and HP. Okay, 40 base res. Attack one enemy, and then we're going to be activating heals with anybody less than 85%. Okay, that's handy because it won't expire it. That could actually be a good thing because it won't expire continuous heals unless you're going to get the full value out of it. So that seems like it's a bad thing, but that's probably pretty decent actually in the grand scheme of things. Then we've got an A2 right here with a full cleanse on one ally and then heals them by 40%, which can be critical. There we go. So similar to Apothecary where we can get a critical heal. If the target ally is not fully healed, it's going to place a block damage buff on them for 2 turns. But if they are fully healed, it will fill their turn meter by 50%. Okay, so a decent amount of utility there no matter what. And I guess if you're like manualing in the live arena, you could pick, do you want to block damage on somebody or do you want to get someone's turn meter up fast? You could kind of have a little bit of manipulation there. Then on the A3, we're getting strengthen and continuous heal on all allies for 2 turns, 3-turn cooldown. And then the passive here, place a shield on the ally with the lowest HP based off of her HP at the start of her turn. So she's going to be constantly popping off shields. If you ever booked, it looks like this has no cooldown. So every turn, she's going to be placing a big shield. So if you've got her at like 100,000 HP, she would give a 15,000 shield on the ally with the lowest HP every single turn. So that's a pretty cool passive. And then you also get an aura of ally HP in all battles by 30%. So I think she's solid. I think she's a decent support. My favorite part of her kit is definitely the passive. That is really, really cool. Other than that, like the cleanse is only a single target, which is unfortunate, and same with the heals. And then she only gets 1 continuous heal on all allies, but she does also get the strengthen. So I don't think like game-breaking meta god tier, but definitely interesting and fun and really good for progression because of the passive here with the constant shielding going on. And she takes 2, 4, plus 3 is 7, 9 books. So, okay, that's Lady of Ireth. Let's check out Valkanen, who's also a new champion coming to the game. And Valkanen is going to be a Void legendary here in the Undead Hordes. That's a surprising choice. Like, the Undead Hordes already have so many good legendaries, and they have Siphi, Necrit here as Void legendaries already, but going to be getting Valkanen right here. So hopefully he can justify the weight of being a Void legendary being added to the game, because that's always a slippery slope. You don't want to dilute the pool without the champion really being able to justify that. Super amazing artwork. Valkanen looks incredible. I'm not going to spoil the lore over why he looks the way he does. I'm going to let you watch the episode if you haven't yet. But yeah, Valkanen here being added to the Void legendary pool. And he is going to be a damage dealer with, he's a little bit squishy, but he's a damage dealer. So let's see what he's got going on here. Attack one enemy is going to ignore shield with a 60% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target. That's really good. You can book that up to 80%, looks like. Okay, it's a single target, so it won't be super consistent. But he also has a debuff spread, taking 2 random debuffs and placing them on all enemies under a hex. And it looks like, I bet he places hex on the A2. Yeah, you can tell by the icon here. So AoE, and then the attack deals single target damage to each target individually rather than AoE. Interesting, that's cool. So like what that means is things like Duchess, where she reduces damage from AoE attacks. It probably won't help with this because he's gonna target every single enemy individually instead of like a full sweeping AoE. And then before attacking, can be booked up to 100% chance of placing a hex on all of them for 2 turns, and will ignore 20% of each enemy's resistance for each dead ally. Damage of the skill increases by 10% for each debuff on the enemy. Again, so for damage dealers, it's really hard to grade them without knowing how they scale and the multipliers, but this at least sounds fun so far. Oh boy, and then we're going to target an ally. If they are alive, kill them and unlock Malice Unleashed. Also place a Weaken and a True Fear on everybody for 1 turn, and then these debuffs cannot be resisted or blocked. And then fill the turn meter by 75%, and this is a 3-turn cooldown, okay? But if the ally you target is dead, we're going to heal the champion by 50% of the dead ally's max HP. If all allies are dead, also unlock that Malice Unleashed and place a shield on the champion for 2 turns. The value of the shield is equal to any surplus heal, and if the champion already has a shield buff, the value of the shield is increased by any surplus heal. And then we're going to get turn meter by 75% no matter what. So both sides of it are going to give us turn meter by 75%. And then that's going to unlock this Malice Unleashed, which is going to attack 1 enemy. And then before attacking, we steal all buffs from the target, which cannot be resisted. And if the target has attack equal to higher than this champion's attack, this attack gains a bonus damage multiplier equal to the target's attack. Okay, so that's basically gonna kill a damage dealer for sure. I'm guessing like you just pick a damage dealer like somebody, you know, Candrafon or whatever, Rhodos, and you're gonna be able to just delete them. And then if the target's attack is less, so if you're targeting a support like Duchess or something, then this attack will ignore 50% of their defense. So you would ideally want to target someone who has a high defense, because then you're going to scale and ignore a bunch of it and basically one-shot them if you target like a Valkyrie or a Soulless or something. And then the attack will also ignore all of those like block damage, unkillable, shield, ally protection, and it will place a block revive debuff if the target is killed. Wow, so, okay, very, very interesting so far. So this is going to be one that has so much going on that it seems fun, but I'd have to test it, like on a test server or something, and try to see how hard he hits and how some of this stuff works before I can, like, grade him in the context of a tier list or something, because there's just way too much going on here. And then we've got the active effect of the Phantom Bulwark passive. Place a shield in this champion each time an ally or enemy each time an ally or enemy dies. We get a shield equal to 50% of the dead champion's max HP, and it can't be removed or stolen or transferred at all. And then we've got the passive effect here. Whenever an enemy hits this champion while they're under a shield, which is going to be super consistent, we have an effect similar to Mithrala, where it's going to place a random debuff on the enemy. Fear, True Fear, freeze all those CC ones, and stun debuffs are placed for 1 turn. Any other debuffs are placed for 2 turns. Okay, so it's going to place a random debuff, and just like any debuff in the game. And it says if it does one of the CC ones, it is going to have them be for 1 turn. But if it places something like a speed down or a defense break, that's going to go for 2 turns, and it's going to ignore 20% of enemy resistance for each dead ally, and cannot place boss exclusive ones like Sheep or Smite. Okay, wow, interesting. And yeah, his ability right here, it literally has a show icon because you have to see everything that it does. That's just hilarious. Look at that. So it can place all of those different debuffs. And it's actually something that, like the reason they're having to do these caveats, I always thought like if I designed a gacha game, I would have two different kinds of debuffs. I would have something like ailments and debuffs. So a debuff would be like defense break. An ailment would be like true fear or sleep. So you got to put those like CC ones in a different category, because then you could have bosses immune to ailments, or you could say ailments are only placed for one turn. So I think if you're designing a gacha game like Raid, shout out to Hell Hades, you should have ailments and debuffs, and that way you can kind of easily categorize them. But that's not all. We also get ally speed in arena battles by 30%. So one of the best ally speed buffs for the arena in an R right here. So wow, like Valkanen looks fun. At least I like how they're going a little bit crazy. They're thinking outside the box, and they've got a bunch of madness going on here with Valkanen. It's going to be very chaotic and crazy, so I'm here for it. I like it. I don't know if he's going to be like god tier or good or decent or underwhelming. I have to see how hard he hits, and I have to see how some of this stuff synergizes within different teams that you would build in PvP and all that. But at the very least, Valkanen is designed very well, in my opinion. I just hope that his multipliers and stuff are in line with making him a cool champion. So wow, yeah, lots going on. You know, I wish they would have done like a guaranteed event in some sort of way where you could pick Lady of Ireth or Valkanen, like which one you want to go after. Because like if they, I don't know, there should have been something like that, like two different guaranteed events similar to Michinaki where you could choose which one you want to go after. You would have to make Lady of Ireth cheaper. I think Valkanen is going to be a little bit more sought after. I think people are going to be a little bit more hype about that, even though Lady of Ireth is a decent support. But yeah, I mean, for those of you that are going to pull some sacreds this weekend anyway during the champion chase maybe, and they're going to be buffed up as a 2x. So yeah, I wish we would have had like a guaranteed way to go after one of them, or probably do for one of those events coming. But alas, it's just going to be the 10x, which is super underwhelming. There's just too many non-void legendaries. So at 10x, your odds of getting Lady of Ireth is still going to be very low, even if you pull a legendary. But that'll be starting tomorrow for the Summon Rush and all of that. Now for the Newt Fusion and keeping pace with everything going on, yeah, here come the Sacred Packs. For everything going on, obviously that Ice Golem tournament is going to be ending in 18 minutes. This is a super weird, I'm not used to saying a tournament's going to end in 18 minutes. This is very weird for me as an American, seeing something actually end while I'm here playing. So anyway, hopefully you got enough points here to scoop up the rare that was up for grabs over there. But then over the course of the next couple days, you're going to want to make sure you're doing your classic arena takedown, and then also paying attention to the champion chase starting tomorrow, and that's going to be double dipping with that sacred event and all of that going on. And you also have the Fire Knight that you're going to want to get a rare for the Newt Fusion, and the Fire Knight is going to double dip with this Dungeon Divers event right here, where you can see that this is the super important one. You got to make sure you get this Void rare in the Dungeon Diver, and you can double dip your Fire Knight while you're doing so. The Soulstone Rush is not part of the Newt Fusion, but the Artifact Enhancement is, and this one ends by the end of the day. So you got to get in here and upgrade some artifacts, spend a little bit of silver, and get to 47.75 so you can scoop up a copy of the rare in the Artifact Enhancement event. And then, is there anything noteworthy in the shop? These aren't anything special here on the Soulstones. The mini mix with the Soulstones, the Soulstone deal, 10 for 1. Looks like this is the normal pricing, nothing super special. The Elite Sacred, no, well, okay. This is probably a little bit better than the normal Plarium packs, but this is still bad in my opinion. This is going to be pretty close to retail value here. No. Oh, and we get Bad Alcazar's pack, and now we're talking. Alright, so we put in the 10 right there. We've got 150k silver, and then we've got 1,000 energy, and it'd be 100 multi-battles, so right there. And then we've got a legendary skill tome right there, and then 7 energy refills, boom, and a 1.21. So hopefully the time gate isn't too crazy. It's probably 5 days. Let's pull this up. Oh, 3 days. There we go. Okay, so 3 days with a 1.21 during a fusion when you're gonna want some of those multi-battles and energy and stuff. Not the worst offer. It's definitely above average, and it's solid in the grand scheme of Plarium's marketplace, but nothing amazing. It doesn't usually pique my interest until it's about a 1.4, 1.5. So at a 1.21, it's solid but not amazing. And then obviously we've got the speed set here. This is pretty typical. Your 40 for the set and the aura. Okay, cool. So there we go. That is the shop for today. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on the new champions here. We've got a couple different legendaries in Lady of Ireth, and then also in the Undead Hordes getting Valkanen as a void legendary added to the shard pool. So I am gonna try and play around with these champions and see what I can figure out in terms of the actual multipliers and stuff like that, and be able to get them added to the tier list very soon. But I appreciate all of you. It would mean a lot to earn your sub down below. If you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.